Welcome to Tuesday Talk with Judas Priest. Today we're going to talk about black on black crime and all the stigma that's behind it and where they come from and the history of it. The views or opinions that are expressed in this episode does not reflect in the Mixed Podcast. However, it does individually reflect and talk about the things that are on my heart or the things that I experience as a black male in America. So that I cannot take away my experience, and I cannot tell a lie about the experience that I experienced as a black man in America. So thank you guys for watching Tuesday Talk with Judas Priest. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget, I'm always willing for feedback and your opinions and your comments. Thank you guys. Good morning. It's not morning.
So you should say good morning.
Right, I'm cracking up.
Oh, man.
All right. Welcome to Tuesday Talk with Judas Priest, everybody. How's everyone doing today?
Awesome.
Welcome. Okay, guys. So today to start off, oh, good. I had to rise above my name. So, start off today, we're going to talk about black on black crime and the whole phrase on black in America. Where did it come from? What is the meaning behind it? What do it actually mean? What was the ideal of it? And why is it used in America to begin with? To start off, first, I just want to thank the Mixed Podcast and my crew. You guys are awesome. Yesterday, if you didn't watch, please go back and watch Lady T. She talked about protecting your peace.
Protect your peace.
And that's important. Like she said, it is. It is. You want to protect your peace. And I say that because, for us, protecting our peace can stem for a lot of things. And, one of my peace that I like to protect is, I guess, the ideal that people have towards us as black males, especially in America. Since we come across the most aggressive species in the world, our madness become angry mad, black mad, scary mad, I'm afraid mad. And so I just want us to protect our peace and one of the ways that I do that is definitely by truth and bringing down things that I think affect us in a negative aspect. And that phrase, black on black, definitely is a phrase that we use quite frequently. And when I say we, I'm definitely referring to everybody. Black use it, white use it. But take a minute right now and think about it. Have you ever heard of the phrase white on white? Or Asian on Asian? Or Native American on Native American? No, you have not. The phrase is only coined and triggered towards black on black crime. And only for the black. So we're going to dive in a little bit. And I'm going to bring up some couple of things, then we're going to go back. At any time you have any questions or want to make a comment, please feel free to, but I wanted to start using, my platform not only to have fun, but also to educate and to challenge the norm. Like I said, if we sit in silence, they'll say we enjoy it. And they'll keep mistreating us and say that we enjoy the mistreatment. Okay. So we can't sit in silence anymore, and we can't allow things to go by without saying anything. I tell people that all the time, not saying something is saying something. So, hey, Let's go. Black on black crime, a phrase that is put under the microscope and used as an excuse to create more aggressive police policing policies and higher rates of incarceration of black men. You see, we start this off today to bring to light one of the worst phrases that I believe helps destroy and help our people stay captive in a world that our people have and will continue to be viewed as angry, aggressive, violent people. First, I want to say that the phrase was created to distract and push a racist agenda. Uh, I'm gonna go to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 2019. The state crime victimization status report show those who commit violent acts tend to commit them against members of the same race as the offender. Okay, so what that is saying is, if I'm white, statistically, I'm going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victim, and my offender is going to be someone that is white, more likely than any other color or race. The same thing for black. If I'm black, the people who they get victim and are the offenders are black. Same thing with any other race. Okay. So it says offenders was white and 62% of violent incidents committed against white victims. Blacks was 70% of incidents committed against, and the Hispanics was 45%. According to the Bureau of Statistics. So what is I'm really saying is that you're more likely to be attacked by the person who look like you. So I mean, think about it. If you in your community, you're going to be the criminals are going to be the color of your community. The crime is going to be the color of your community. So the black on black theme of it all does not exist. It's the same thing. If I go to a white community, if I go to a Jewish community, if I go to an Arabic community, the criminals are going to look like that race of that community. Stay with me. I know, because it's crazy. So because we have this thing that we want to be the wokest black person or the wokest person ever in the world. We want to come off with the great saying or the great quote, or use a great quote and use this great saying first, so that we can say, oh, we intelligent, oh, we're smart, we got a profound vision from somewhere. But a lot of times we use things and we just fall right into the practice of just saying things and not know where it came from, how it got there, and what was the purpose of it. Why was it placed in our hands? Why was it placed in our mind? Where did it come from? If you watch my show, I've been talking about guarding what we see and what we hear and what we put in our heart and everything like that, because it's key to it, because you'll find yourself using things or saying things that you're like, oh, where'd that come from? You didn't heard it somewhere. It was used on you. You've seen it somewhere. So now it's in your heart. It's in your mind. It's in your spirit. Right. And so that's what happens. And then you're using it, and then it be used, and then that's what happens with a lot of things. And so that goes back to mine of, I had one of my favorite stories. And one of my favorite stories is it was a couple, and he was helping him and his wife was cooking. And he watching her, and so she had the ham, and she took half of the ham and put it in the casserole dish and threw the other half away. And the husband saw it and said, "Whoa, wait, baby, why did you just do that?" She said, "I don't know. This is just the way that my mama do it, and did it for years. She always took half of the ham, put it in the casserole, and got rid of the other half." So he like, wait, that don't make sense. Hold on, we gotta get to the bottom of it. So They call the mama and they say, "Mom," she like, "Yeah, I want to know why when you make ham, you take one half of the ham and get rid of it, and only cook half of the ham." She said, "Well, I don't know. That's just how my mama did it. I'm just doing what I seen my mama do for years. She would take half of the ham and then get rid of the other half." So she said, "Oh, well, I don't know. Let's call her. Call your grandma." So they called her grandma and they said, Grandma, we got a question." She said, "What is it? How can I help y'all?" She said, "Well, why when you cook ham, you cut off half of the ham and get rid of it?"
Oh yeah.
And she said, "Huh?" She said, "Yeah, that's how mama do it. That's how I do it." And my husband wanted to know. I just wanted to know why. I told him it was a family secret. She said, "Fool, there wasn't no family secret. We didn't have a big enough pot. So I would just cut up half of the ham and cook and put it away and cook only half of the ham. It couldn't fit." And that brings us to the day. We do a lot of things because it's been done for years. It's been said for years. And we say all these things and do all these things without having a history behind why did we do it. What was the need for it? Because that's the type of people that we become, that we settle to whatever trend is going on. It's a trend and we all do it. We don't know why the trend exists, why we happen to it, and we got to stop doing that because it's dangerous. Look how dangerous it is. We've been using this phrase black on black crime for years. And it's no legitimacy to it. There's nothing special about it. There's no such thing as black on black crime. Just like it's no such thing as white on white crime. Crime is crime.
And let's go to touch back on what you had said about how when it's like crime committed against one another, it's mainly the person that you live, like you live in an all white community, and
right,
the offender's going to be that. And that just brings me to a story that I was reading. Mr. Warren Sanders was a daily Chicago Defender writer, and he was saying that he was going to speak because he wrote in the papers back in the black on black thing kind of came from in the late 60s, 1960s. So I think like 1968, he wrote about what did this, where did this black on black crime come from? And he said he was on his way to go speak at a conference about trying to, enlighten people about what's going on. And on his way, he stopped the guy named Fast Willie, who was a hustler on the south side of Chicago. And he asked him like, "Hey, why do you go around robbing your own people? Why you do this to your own people?" And Fast Willie's response was, "Because that's who I see every day."
Right.
The police is to, I can't go up there to, I forgot where it's called, up there where the rich white folks are. He said, "I can't go there because they'll stop me."
Right.
Like, they'll stop me before by the time I unwrap the gun wrapper paper, they've been to pull me over and stop me or something.
Right, because if he black and he go commit crime, and if he go into a white neighborhood and try to do a crime, red flag, he don't belong here.
Right, he don't belong there. So he pretty much they don't care about us down here. So, and he's like, it's sad, but I'm robbing and doing from who I see every day. Because it's easy. They don't care. They're too busy making sure their communities is okay.
Crime is
crime it is. And, and he was like, and then Mr. Warren Sanders was like, wow, yeah, I never put it in that perspective. So that's why, black on, and then it's used, and they use that black on black crime. It's normally a device they use. So you hear it a lot, especially when like a black person get murdered unjustly by the police.
Oh, yeah.
So they use it's like a counterproductive method that they use. They say, well, black on black crime happen all the time. Why they worry about when the police? No, that's not what black on black crime not even supposed to be. Crime is crime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a crime.
So
all crime is
a crime.
It's really weird because I even when I research. Okay, I'm gonna go back. It says a wave of immigration in the late 1800s and 1900s, mostly people coming from Europe countries, including Italy and Ireland, stroked resentment and sparked accusations of increased crime in immigration communities, similar to what we have today. With the Latinos and the Hispanics. How they President Trump was saying that the crime is going up because of Mexican people coming over and things like that. But the response back then was increasing economic opportunity, police reform, and giving those newcomers a piece of the American dream by helping them own their own homes, not labeling them a menace to society or label it white on white crimes. Come on, people, we got to wake up. They didn't say anything negative about it. Of course, they instead they helped them by making sure they had income and money, jobs, make sure that they had programs set up. We like to laugh and use that black people use the government assistance and things like that, but it wasn't even created for us. Those programs and all the assistance programs and everything was created for our counterparts, for the white Americans that were struggling and couldn't make it, and they seen it as a problem. So then they had to help, so they made these programs to help them and benefit them. It's tweeted now, and they tweet it against us. And so when we have to use it now, but when it was originally used and originally created, it wasn't for us. And that African Americans have had more difficulties gaining the same acceptance that white immigrants groups have because of the American racist legacy. Black people didn't get economic investments. They got more policings and more prisons. So don't be foolish. It comes off kind of like, okay, you know how, and I'm gonna say this, how it's a group of us and it's all our family and stuff, and we good. Everybody good with doing it until that one cousin that's bad do it. And we all did it. But it wasn't a problem to that bad cousin that everybody know is bad did it. Then it became a problem. Then it was a rule in the house. You can't do this no more. And we like, oh man, we been doing it. But because the bad cousin did it and got caught, then it became a rule that you couldn't do it anymore. And that's pretty much what we had in America. It was okay, and it was taken care of a good way until we came along and started doing it. Then it's, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, just like weed. We've been legally selling weed forever, and now they feel they can control it. So now it's kind of legalized, and they got their hands.
Yeah, of course they're gonna legalize it because they get selling it and using it and doing everything with it now. So of course they gotta, look how many of our people was locked up and incarcerated for selling it. But once we got into it, and we get harsher crimes for selling weed and distribute. But now, America, we just gotta do better. Okay, so what makes this phrase dangerous is that the white people are not the only people using this phrase. Our own people use and repeat what our counterparts say too. Black lives don't matter until we stop seeing black people killing people. Black on black killing people in the community.
It's a counterproductive method.
You see this being repeated and said that it makes no sense. So now you can only talk about problems plaguing your community in the world or plaguing the world, but only after you can miraculously stop it from happening in your community first.
And then they pumped it through our TV. They know we watch the TV. They pump the commercials.
Oh, definitely.
Please help, call Crime Stoppers. Please help us stop black on black crime. So now it's being pumped through the TV, through our community. So now in our heads, we like, oh, it is black and black crime is bad. But why we don't want to got a commercial about stop the crime, black on black crime, or not,
right? Because we don't see commercials that says stop mass shootings by European counterparts. We don't see that. We don't have the president of the United States constantly and people running for political office constantly saying we need to stop this white on white crimes. We need to stop. We don't, because it doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. And yet they use it all the time to criminalize us and to make us feel like that we are our worst enemies, and our worst enemy is actually using that phrase. It's nonsense. How can you tell me that I cannot talk about things that's going on until I could deal with the problem of us black on black killing people. That's crazy. That's like saying, oh well, we don't talk about the school shooting until they could deal with the school, a way to stop school shootings. We've been doing it. We've been going about it for years. We can't. We're trying to. So do that mean not talk about it? That don't make any sense. And that yet they constantly get everybody to say it, right. And they've been doing this for years. Taxes. 1979, Ebony magazine was the first magazine that made an article about black on black crime. It publicized the black on black crime happening, and it talked about the black on black crime in our communities and how that we need to be watchful and fix our communities and demonize the crime only in the black communities. The problem with that is that the demonization didn't stop. Presidents, Richard Nixon, the war on drugs was demonized. Only the war on drugs was targeted only towards the black communities and our family members and our race. And it's really sad because it's not just, we're not the only people that doing drugs and having drug problems. If that was the case, the opioid epidemic wouldn't be as big as it is right now. But yet, look at what they do for the people that's on opioid. You go to a hospital and tell them that you on opioids and you about to OD. What they do, they give it to you to help you out. They don't criminalize it. They ain't locking you up and throwing you in jail and let you detox in the jail cell like they do us. They giving it. They protect the opioid people on opioids, and it's sad. I lived in Ohio, and I had people overdosing in a sidewalk in a car. And I stayed in downtown Sandusky. It wasn't no doubt. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all about the perspective that we allow people to have about us. Yeah. And we need to stop that because we do. Because they'll go get one of us, a black conservative, a black Republican, and give him the platform and let him say all of these things about black people gotta do better, and we look at me. I made it. And if I made it, and I can come out the ghetto and I can do this, then it's no excuse.
And then you background check them fools that never lived in the ghetto.
Right, and it's just sad because we are not determined. We are not defined by our community. We are not even defined by what our people and our race do. We are not. We are individuals. And the moment that we can start seeing each other and seeing ourselves as individuals who have individual thought process, individual ideas, then we can attack it the proper way. Yes, I am not the one about to protest, and I'm not about to go get a free Pookie shirt when Pookie then killed such and such and kidnapped such and such, chopped somebody up. Pookie ass need to be in jail. He need to get the harshest sentence. Yes. I ain't talking about freeing Pookie. No. Pookie need to be in jail. Pookie need to go to court. Pookie need to be found guilty in the court of law. And Pookie need to be locked up for 25 years to life. Because accountability is needed in our community too. But, so then, I'm going to say this. Now, I know crime and violence is happening in our community, but it's not just our community. It's not just our people. Stop allowing them to give us the guns and the ammo that keep killing us, and stand up and tell them we are not surrendering sweetly and quietly in the night. We would be heard and we would be seen. And it's okay to be black and proud. It's okay to love on our culture and love on our history. We had a very rich history that's embedded in America and these United States of America. Right. And it's time that we take that history and use it for them. Because guess what? When you look back, they did studies in the 1800s and 1700s about us. How did they did studies about us when 1800s and 1700s we wasn't free? We wasn't free man. We wasn't free women. We was only property. property. But you telling us that you got studies to date that we are savage people back in the 1800s and 1700s when we wasn't even considered people. We was only property. Quit letting people think for you and think for yourself. Because we was considered less than an animal. We was somebody's cow or horse was better than us. We was 3/5 of a person. Written in the Constitution. But now we letting them tell us that we're a danger to ourselves. We're a danger to America. We're the ones that carrying down terrorists. We didn't kill the Indians. We didn't. The Indians was only being nice. The natives was only nice to the white people because they had us. They had some of us with them. So they said, oh, we'll talk to them and help them and teach the black people that you have with them how to tend the land. How do you think they learned how to tend the land? From us. We showed them from what the natives showed us. Stop letting people tell you your history. Go find your history. It's January the 11th today.
And I just want to add, quit letting people tell you your history. But we're gonna help y'all out next month. We're gonna do the history work for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So all next month in the next podcast, get the history lesson from us. Our history is important.
Right, because it is. And one thing I was doing, go back and look at all of the people in the Renaissance period. Go back and look at that. What's really scary about that is a lot of them, they did. They stole they stole our culture. They stole our history. They stole our past from us, our language, all of that. And used us because look how great we were. We was able to survive winters. We was able to survive the seas. We was able to defy the worst condition that you can ever do to a man. We was able to survive it. And look at us now. We're still surviving it right now. They write about us in history and tell bitter, twisted lies. And we still rise above it all. We still rise up. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. But we got to quit letting these people, we got to quit letting America have these. And we got to. You know what? I'm not even being funny. Like, look at our culture. And I say this with the utmost respect. No, we do not have a culture, our own. We created our culture here in the United States. We made something here. And then it's so infectious and so loved that every other culture take parts of our culture. The good that they like of our culture and incorporate it in theirs. And you get all of this. Look how many other cultures now have do Cajun food, soul food. I've never seen so many people do soul food a day in my life. Now you got every Tom, Dick, and Harry doing soul food. I mean, I wouldn't eat everybody's soul food, but they definitely have it out there. But I'm serious. This month, do it. Because if you go back and look at the Renaissance paper, a lot of them left America. They did. A lot of them said, well, America didn't treat me like a human, and they don't want to treat me like I'm a person. So they left America. And, and it was their preference. A lot of them went to the other foreign countries and things like that to start life and start anew. So, I'm saying, guys, it's 2022. We got a voice. We got so many platforms. And one thing that it always stuck with me is something that W.E.B. Boys and Frederick Douglass always used to go back and forth and argue and had these arguments about us and our race. And W.E.B. Boys thought that, hey, we should fight to get into institutions and get our education and get on the same platforms and education wise that the white man is. And then Frederick Douglass was saying, no, we should just go get trades and learn how to do things, get skills in trade, and then rise that way. And I don't know, what do you guys think? What road should we be going down? I think that it's going to take a little bit of both. It's going to take the skills and the trade, and it's going to take the education and those people that can get on the platforms. And I'm not saying, I'm not telling for our cousin JJ to go run for political office. By no means am I not saying that. We don't want our cousin Pookie to be in the politics. We that cousin Pookie, you could be an entrepreneur, and give jobs in the community and things like that. Because I'm not being funny, but when we own our platforms, it hurt us even more when you do damage, when you become when you get into and get intertwined, in the bad politics, and then you got scandal, because then it sets us back. And so we don't want that. So I just want us to do better. I've always inspired to be better, to do better. We got a platform. This is a platform that we use.
Right.
So why not take? I'm not saying that take all of our platform and our time. Definitely not, no means. I like doing all types of things. But I'm saying to use your platforms that you have, like Tidy said. Lady T said yesterday. Hey, I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about what I'm talking about. I've experienced it. I've gone through it. I'm experiencing it now. I'm in the midst of it. I came out of it, and that's all I'm saying. Like, don't be that talented 10th that made it, and you look back and say, "Oh, you could do it because I did it," and you keep moving. Why not be the one that go back and grab that person and go back and teach that person and say, "This is how I did it," so that more can make it where you are making it at. And that's all I'm saying. The difference. So you guys, this has definitely been a great read for me. And if you want to look up,
chip off the iceberg.
Right? If you want to look up and find more information about black on black crimes, please look it up and look into it. Ebony Magazine was the one. 1979 was the year that they made the article about black on black, and just look at it. It's a lot of things. Just look into it, because it goes back to like one of my pet peeves is.
And Warren Sanders was the one that published it, the Chicago Daily Defender writer of the paper of Chicago. He wrote about it in, what was it, 1968?
Right. So
1968, 1970, one of them.
So just the information.
Information is
we
there.
laugh about this being the year of information. That we got information in the palm of our hand. But are we actually using it to better ourselves? Are we using it to educate ourselves?
Because you can find anything on the devices we have in our hands.
Right. Because don't forget, people that do not know their history are doomed to repeat it. People perish because of their lack of knowledge. So remember how dangerous it is not to educate yourself and not to grab on to this education and this knowledge. It's free. It's out there. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Mr. Fresh word for it. You can do the research yourself. You guys, thank again for watching Tuesday Talk with Judas Priest, you guys. Don't forget that you can watch us every day of the week. We are available to watch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday we rest. Even the Lord went rest the one day.
And if y'all got any questions for us, man, please feel free. We answer them at a accurate response time. So yeah, please shoot us some messages. We'll respond to you. We'll argue with you. That's what you want to do too.
Right. And if you feel something we said is not true or not right or one-sided, please, by all means, you could come on the show, or you could just write it in and we'll talk about it and handle about it. Because guess what? One thing I just read this and it really spoke about it. It says our job is not to convince you. It's just to give you information. And your job is either to accept that information or don't accept it. And find something else that you accept. If I say something that you don't agree with, hold on to what you believe. By all means, hold on to what you believe and what you think is true and right until somebody presents you something that you know deep in your heart is better. And that's Tuesday Talk for you. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, the Thursday, Mr. Fresh is gonna have.
Oh yeah, got a special guest Thursday. TCO. He's gonna be in the building. Well, it's gonna be over the Zoom, but you know what I mean. Yeah, please tune in.
It's gonna be. It's very interesting. Very interesting. You know, he's a
what is he? Actor.
He's an actor,
pastor,
a pastor,
rapper.
and a rapper.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun.
Definitely. And then Friday you're gonna have us all together, and we're gonna have a special guest.
James from Wow That's Crazy podcast. He's coming in. Yeah, we're gonna chop it up with him. You know, we got some stuff this week. Just hang 10.
So, thank you guys for again coming. Go ahead. You can end this stream for me, please.
Hey, we love you. Podcast 4. Yeah, Jeffy, we love you.